Record. Good morning. It's a little bit later than it usually is, a couple hours later. So, welcome to Wake the Fuck Up Wednesday. Hello again. Hello. Yes, I see people rolling in. Hey, Julie. Hey, Kim. Hey, Janice. How is it going? Awesome. It looks like we managed to get it correct in Facebook this time, too. So anyway, I hope you all are doing so well. We are getting such good snow here in Alaska. Like I'm looking out and it's just freaking gorgeous. It is so gorgeous. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I think I found the like sweet balance, y'all. And like of Alaska and Hawaii, it's perfect. And I've been planning the adventure mastermind. So, we're doing the next adventure mastermind, we do one in Hawaii, one in Alaska. And it's just so fun to think about all the cool places to explore. We're going to be kayaking and hiking and doing amazing things. And in Hawaii, we'll be doing all kinds of surfing and super fun activities. So, it has been a blast. I can like geek out for hours just checking shit out. So, this is why this is what I love why I love doing what I do, right? Anyway, so today, hurrying about getting to our goals. How many of us do that? I know I do, right? Absolutely. So, I just want to say that it's super important to not confuse what I'm saying here about like you shouldn't hurry to get to an appointment. If you have an appointment and you're running late, well, first of all, don't speed. You want to be safe. This is though, it's not about the hurrying towards getting to a meeting or to a party or an event. It's why do we hurry towards our goals? Like, why do we have this sense of urgency? Why does it fucking stress us out so much? Right? So, I really want us to think about all the things that we're striving for in our lives right now and think about like which ones am I feeling pressure about? Okay? Like, am I feeling pressured to leave my job? Am I feeling pressured to buy a different house or to move? Am I feeling pressured to find the one and have a baby? And am I pressured like I have to make this much money this year now, right? Or I want to earn this certain income goal, whatever it might be within a certain time frame, this month even, or in the next 6 months, right? We all have these goals, and it's not that we're not supposed to get excited about it and want to get there. But what I'm talking about today is when we feel pressure about it. Yeah. When we feel pressure about our goals, then we start to hustle, really, is what happens, right? We all of a sudden feel like somehow, and this is the key reason, y'all, we have a belief that for some reason, that somehow when we get over there, it's going to be better than what my life is like over here. Right? How many of us have thought about that? And how many of us have totally seen that, right? So we think, okay, life over there is going to be better than over here. And I don't like being over here, so I'm going to hurry the fuck up and get over there because I know shit's going to be so much better. But here's the truth, y'all. From my own experience and from coaching for like a really long fucking time at this point, that's not what happens. So, what happens is we bust our butts, we get to the goal, and then we're like, we get it and we go, yay, I did it. And then after a minute, it goes like, okay, so I did it. Now what? Because here's the thing, our human brain, we always want to keep striving. We're on the hedonic treadmill. I talk about that more in the podcast, but it's like our tendency to, once we have something we want, to want something else, right? To think that, oh, or once I have that, then it's going to be better, right? So that's one reason why we hustle towards our goals. Okay. We think that over there is going to be better than over here. And that belief is the core reason. Now, what about the fucking hustle? Right? Like, how many of you have hustled before? Like, I am really good at hustling. It's just my jam. Like, I mean, I don't know if it was growing up in like an immigrant family or whatever, but I definitely have felt the the pressure of you need to hustle, you need to do this shit now, you need to break free, right? And it becomes counterproductive when we are achieving our goals from that sense of hustle and urgency, like I need to get there faster. So let me share with you something that happened with me. Okay. I just pushed out my baby. Like she was a teeny tiny thing. And I decided that year I was going to earn six figures. I don't know why I made the goal for that year. Live and let learn, right? And so I was like, okay, I'm going to do it this year. This is the year that I'm going to make six figures. And I had like, and I just busted my ass and got to work. Like I was breastfeeding and typing on my laptop at the same time. I was working full time in a clinic. I didn't get like maternity leave as long as I wanted because I needed to go back to get his health insurance. And like, it sucked. Like, but I was like, this is okay. I have a good reason to hustle because I want to be a better mom and I want to have more time with my kid, right? So in the meantime, I'm breastfeeding her and typing on the laptop at night, and I would justify it like, I love what I do. This isn't work. I'm not overworking. And then I'm like, I'm multitasking. I'm like, my baby's just sucking on my boob. I'm just sitting here. I might as well make some money and like do some work, right? But oh my gosh, y'all, my body didn't like it. My spirit didn't like it. My mind didn't like it. I wasn't getting good sleep. I was super stressed out and I was like desperate to achieve this goal. Partly, yes, like we've mentioned, the belief that over there will be better than over here, right? When I achieve that six figures, my life will be better over there than over here. But also, I was putting pressure on myself when it felt like it was a fact. Like I had to do this. I had to achieve this now. Or what would I make it mean if I didn't? That I was a failure? That I couldn't actually create the amount of income that I thought I could without being an employee, that I wasn't good enough. I made it mean like all these things if I didn't get to my goal in the time frame I wanted to, right? So what ends up happening is you're hustling, you're putting the pressure, you're doing all kinds of shit, right? And then you end up creating this result from a place of hustle and pressure and rushing, right? And let me tell you, how we build something up, whoops, almost knocked the computer down. How we build something up is how we live in it. So I had sort of been taught, about the grind and hustle culture. It was like, you see San Francisco, there's residents working super long shifts and, you know, it was cool if you could work a bunch of shifts in a row and like handle it, right? And work night shifts on top of that and do all kinds of crazy shit. When I was a climbing guide, it was like sleep when you die. Like, let's just go out and get it. Like, go, go, go. Don't rest. Why do we need to rest? Why are we hanging out talking? Like, I remember one time when I was training for Outward Bound, one of my instructors that was training the new guides was like, I was lying by a river. I'd finished everything I was supposed to do, including carrying all my fucking textbooks because I was still in college, unlike everyone else. I carried my fucking textbooks into the backcountry. I finished my homework, studying for some exams, and then I was resting by the river. And one of the guides comes in. He's like, oh, you just got into this just for fun, huh? You're not really interested in working hard. I was just like, fuck you, dude. I don't know what's going on with you. But anyway, yeah, yeah, it was fucking rad. And I did it for a decade. So, and it was awesome. Anyway, we're of this hustle culture, right? That tells us this is how we have to do it. Okay? So, we have the belief it's going to be better over there. We have been raised, many of us, in the like Protestant work ethic or hustle culture. Add to that shows social justice issues, right? If you follow the NAP ministry on Instagram, using rest for the oppressed as a revolutionary act, as an act of rebellion, right? Because if the dominant culture feels pressure to work, the BIPOC cultures and oppressed cultures feel even more of that, right? So we hustle towards our goals in this way, and then we end up building our achievements on a foundation of my life right now is not good enough, right? Something's wrong with the way my life is right now, and over there we'll fix it, right? So I made six figures that year, and then guess what? I was like, fuck this. I can't do this. I almost stopped my business because I was like, if this is what it takes to run a business, I'm not going to do this. This is ridiculous. And then I started finding coaches, business coaches, and influencers who could help me see that there was another way of doing it, that it was possible to be successful without hustling. And I really, like, that just blew my freaking mind. And I remember being told, like, when I am creating a business from a place of hustle, it's going to be needing my hustle to function. So, how do I want to achieve my goal? Right? So, let's say you want to get a PhD, or let's say you want to write a book, or you want to find your life partner. How we go about that also manifests in how we live in it once we've created that goal. Like once you've created your family, was it from a place of desperation, of lack, of not knowing how to create satisfaction with life as it is in this moment, right? So there's nothing wrong with having goals and wanting to achieve more and wanting to get over there, but it's the attachment and the pressure that is coming from the belief that over there is better than over here. Okay. So what do we do about it? So what we can do about it is we want to ask ourselves, where am I hustling in my life right now? Where am I feeling so much pressure? Where am I rushing? Where am I so desperate to get there now? And then we can ask ourselves, how do I think I will feel once I achieve that? Because that is why we do anything, right? You've heard me say before, we think we make decisions based on our logic and rational thinking, but we don't. That's why we make the same fucking mistakes over and over and all that, right? So we have to, hey Heidi, what's up? So we come from a place of thinking that I need to have that in order to feel better. And so we aim for that. We are driven by that in terms of why we do what we do, right? We are motivated by how we think it'll make us feel, not because of something rational, right? So we ask ourselves, how do I think I'll feel once I achieve that goal? Once I write the book, once I get the PhD, once I find my life partner, once I do all this, right? Once I make that income level. Maybe it's, I will feel more free. I will feel more peaceful. I will feel loved, lovable, worthy, or whatever, right? So we connect to that. And then we ask ourselves, how can I feel that way right here and right now? So if we think, when I find that person, the one, I'm going to feel loved. Well, how can I feel loved right now? Because if you're coming and meeting people and going on dates from the place of I'm not lovable, right? You're going to be attracting a certain type and building a relationship foundation on that belief and needing external validation all the time, right? So when we can instead create those feelings that we think can only happen once we've achieved our goals, when we do that for ourselves in the present moment, then we are truly free. You see? Then we are truly free. So, to recap, if you are finding yourself pressuring yourself to be somewhere else now, to achieve that goal now, it is not to say don't want that really badly, don't get excited about it, don't just really go for it, but don't be attached to needing it to happen so quickly. Because the reason that urgency is there is because we think it's better over there. And then we bring it back to how do I think I'll feel when they do that? And how, when I achieve that? And then how can I make that happen right now? And some of you might be like, no, but I really do have to earn this much this year. I really do have to get pregnant like in the next year, right? And I just want to emphasize again that if you achieve your goal from that place of desperation and of hustle, like without changing the mindset, when you arrive at that goal, you still have the same brain. And when you have the same brain, guess what that brain does? It thinks the same thoughts. You have the same feelings of unworthiness, unlovability, and all this and that. And you create the same results of loneliness, of not feeling lovable, even with a partner and a baby, even with the bank account. You see? So ask yourselves those two questions. How do I think I'll feel? How can I help myself feel that right now? Okay? And that will help you get to your goal in a more sustainable way, right? I mean, we know hustling works to a degree, right? Like I've had colleagues that told me like, I kind of hustled like for my first $200,000 in my business or in my career or whatever, right? But then they're like, similar to me, I can't do this. I can't sustain this. I have to choose a different way, right? Like, so we have, yes, the hustling can make the money, but eventually you're not going to be able to sustain it, right? And this is what happens. Like, even if you decide not to quit, this is why so much of what we see in primary care is stress related. So much pressure, so much stress. Well, there's other reasons too. Don't get me started on the politics of all that, okay? But so much stress we create ourselves, all right? That we do have control of, okay? So find out, does this really actually have to happen? You can ask yourself, like, so what would happen if I didn't reach it? Like, I've had clients that were like bawling because they weren't making enough money to contribute to the family. In like maybe they're like same amount that they wanted to that year. And then it's like, well, is your family going to be okay? Like, are they eating and have shelter and everything? It's like, yeah. And it's like, okay, let's remember that, right? How you get there matters, okay, my friends? Okay, that's what I have for you today. Hey, and come join us in Alaska and Hawaii. It's going to be so fun. Come to adventuremastermind.com. Just apply, and we will chat, okay? And by the way, we also offer some partial scholarships. So if you think you would be a good candidate for that, let us know, okay? Adventuremastermind.com. Bye, friends. Oh, you're welcome. Bye, Missy. Bye, Mel. Bye, Cindy. Hey, girl, hey. Right on. Bye, y'all. Okay, have a good one. And ask me any questions below in the comments if you have any, okay? Bye. Oh, bye, Michelle. Hey, Barb. All right, ciao.